I called up a replay of the program file. I was all ready to compliment you again, Commander. And now I find that it's all about a fantasy plaything.
It's not like that. I swear.
I'm outraged by this. I have been invaded, violated. How dare you use me like this?
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fully Functional, a TNG podcast. I'm Maggie, joined by Jeff and Dory.
Yo.
Jeff and I are huge Star Trek nerds, and Dory is a Star Trek novice, and we are taking her on her first journey through Star Trek The Next Generation. And we have a bit of a milestone this episode. We are officially over halfway through Star Trek The Next Generation.
Holy shit.
Yay. So today we're talking about the Season 4 episode Galaxy's Child. Original air date March 9th, 1991. And as always, we'll take it to Dory for the recap.
Okay, so the Enterprise is approaching Starbase 313 to pick up a shipment of scientific equipment for transport, but nobody cares because they're hosting a guest to see the engine modifications Geordi has made. Who is the guest? None other than the real version of Geordi's holodeck pal, Dr. Leah Brahms, who is the senior design engineer at the Theoretical Propulsion Group. I don't know those words. Anyways, Geordi is pretty psyched. This will not last. He studied her schematics for years. Okay, then we see Guinan. She's in red, and she looks amazing, because Geordi he's, like, chatting with her, and honestly, it was kind of wild to hear them, like, talk about something that, like, we as an audience know about. Mm-hmm. Like, we saw that episode, so it was like, ooh, continuity. So Geordi's like, oh, yeah, we're going to be great friends. And I just, like,
yeah, he's
Geordi,
like
this is
really cringily excited to meet her.
Yeah, after I watched this episode, I messaged a friend and I was like, I have cringed so hard in this episode. I'm going to have to unhinge my clenched jaw to be able to talk for the podcast recording. This is such a cringy episode. Okay, so we meet Leah. She's pissed right off the bat. Yeah. She's like, oh, so you're the person who's been fucking around with my engine. And yeah, it goes south real quick. So she's really critical of his changes. And he's like, oh, but you know, it's different when you're in space and having to do these things versus like still in whatever, or not moving, whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, Leah has a phone call in which I just was like, okay. This weirdly does actually, it's relevant to the plot weirdly. So Data is picking up unusual readings in the Alpha Omicron system, and I just wrote I'm triggered. These are two words I don't need to hear anymore. Oh yeah, asymmetrical field of intense energy, something, I don't know, there's like radiation and shit. Meh. So Geordi's like wants to give Leah a tour of the changes that he's done. She is not happy. Okay, then we see what the radiation thing is. It's a big ass clam. That's what I'm calling it. I just referred to this like clam, the whole in all my notes. So it's a clam by this planet. It's very big. No one knows what it is, but Picard is psyched. Geordi, oh yeah, he shows, what is my notes? Yeah, I'm going through my notes because I can't be bothered to learn this because this episode was something.
Yep.
Oh, Geordi shows her a thing and she's like, what the fuck? This is supposed to be in the next starship. And he's like, yeah, I absolutely, I don't know. It's just logical, not like that your holodeck version like knew whatever. I like, what?
There are so many, like, cringe moments of Geordi dialogue in this episode, and I tried not to write down all of them because I figured I'd run out of space.
Yeah. Then he invites her for like pasta or something.
To his quarters at night.
Yeah, like it's very specific. There's a whole scene about that him just like evaluating the lighting.
Yeah.
It's so wild. Okay.
It's very 90s. Oh, I did want to point out something about that whole thing though. I thought that out of all of Geordi's incredibly cringe shit this episode, I would give the writers credit for at least the scene where he's basically asking her on a date, because that isn't too bad. It's honestly more natural than a lot of the dialogue is in this episode. So, but props for one success and a sea of failure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, I guess, less cringy.
Yes.
Okay, so back to the clam. So I wrote, Picard is jelly of the clam. Is he jealous of it? I don't know. So the clam is probing the Enterprise. Worf wants to raise shields. Picard is like, let it go. Let's like let it do what it wants to. We've got mutual curiosity. But the clam is gaining power, and green lightning like shoots the Enterprise, and the ship's fucked. So like red alert. And the clam is like sending out like huge amounts of radiation. They say at 65 millirands per minute. I don't know how much that is, or if that's even a real measurement.
It's something they made up.
No, I think
okay, so
rads is a real thing. That's how
Yeah,
you
but
measure.
it's no, it's
Millirads?
it is a very outdated TV-ish version of measurement of radiation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because I just assumed it was a lot, because then they're like, oh yeah, then right after, like a second later, they're like 300 millirads, and it'll be lethal in 1 minute. It's like, this like escalated real quick. So then they're like, okay, well, fuck. So they phaser the clam. So they save the ship, but the clam dies. But then like Riker looks at, when they killed the clam, Riker looks over at Picard like, how could you? I honestly, like, it made me laugh. That's probably not what he was going for, because I mean, let's be honest, like the clam was gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
So like kind of the right move. But anyways, oh yeah, Picard, this fucking wrecks Picard that he just killed the clam. Mm-hmm. But then Data's like, oh, there's life in the clam. There's a, well, we'll get to what's in the clam. So now we've got
I wanted to point something out about that moment of Picard reacting to it, because it really is peak Star Trek's ideals, except it's wrapped in a little bow around a really bad CGI model that looks like a piece of Play-Doh that I just cannot bring myself to care about at all.
It looks like they added, honestly, like clay or Play-Doh to like a pizza pocket, but opened it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
It's like, because like the ridged, like the ridged bits. Okay, so now we're in Geordi's quarters, which is this the first? I think this is the first time we see Geordi's quarters.
It might be.
And we get to see his casual look too.
Oh yes, his casual look is red corduroy. It looks nice. I like it.
His casual look is the year 1990 personified.
Yeah. It's honestly...
Listen, he was trendy then.
Yeah, listen, for Star Trek standards, he's like... That outfit's amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Very good
I
point.
liked it. The red was a good color for him.
Yeah.
So then, oh yeah, the computer, oh yeah, so like he's like, oh, I want to like dim the lights or whatever. So then the computer turns off the lights, and the computer goes, please state your request in precise candlelight power or candle power.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh. So Geordi requests lightly dimmed soft jazz, but I wrote they should do coffee jazz. It's not romantic. But then, just kidding, that's not what he was going for at all. So, but then he requests Brahms, which I was like, lol.
Yeah.
Leah Brahms.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did that one on purpose.
And then he requests classical guitar. Okay, this might just be me, but I'm not sure I know what classical guitar is. And I still couldn't even hear it in the episode. So I guess
it's pretty quiet.
I'll never know what classical guitar is.
Classical guitar is a thing. It's, have you ever heard, like, Spanish guitar?
Yes?
It's similar to that. It's, like...
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it, but it is a thing.
Okay. Well, no, I didn't mean that it's like not real. I just don't know what it sounds like.
Oh, okay. You don't have a frame of reference for it.
Yeah. So like I couldn't hear it in the episode. So I was like, well, I guess I'll never know. Okay. So, Geordi's okay. So then Leah comes in and he starts talking about her hair, and it's weird. He's like, oh, it's down. And I'm like, Geordi, what the fuck? And because in his like holodeck version, her hair was up.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like, unless you're like, oh, your hair is nice, there's nothing else you need to say about someone's hair.
Yeah.
Other than, oh, it looks nice today. Or just don't even say today, because that implies it looks bad other times. Just say, oh, your hair looks nice.
He also, like, Geordi has no chill in pretending that he hasn't made a weird hologram of this lady, you know?
The episode
like,
really wants us to know that.
Yeah. Like, he's really bad at, like, pretending he's never met her.
Yeah, and then, okay, so Leah then, like, kind of opens up, and she's like, yeah, people find me cold, cerebral, and etc. And Geordi's like, oh, I know there's more. And I'm like, Geordi, shut the fuck up. This is, like, above and beyond. No. You're, like, being too, like, familiar. Yeah, So, like, Leah, I guess, like, well, not I guess, she, like, gets that this is, like, not a, friendship dinner.
Yeah.
So she's like, I think I'm going to call it a night. She'll talk to Geordi tomorrow. Okay, then they're revealed. There's a baby clam inside the corpse of Mother Clam. Oh, boy. This is wild. So then we get a group conference scene, which I love. About what to do about the baby clam and, like, can it live within its mother? Dr. C suggests a C-section. And Riker's like, we should use the phaser as a scalpel. And Worf is like, this seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
He was right. Nobody acknowledges, though, that Worf was right. But,
yeah,
Worf doesn't get enough credit.
That always becomes a thing. Like, Worf gets shut down, but it turns out he was fucking right.
Well, I'll be Worf's champion.
There's actually a YouTube compilation of just Worf getting shut down.
Yeah,
Well,
his idea.
I support Worf,
Yeah.
and I'm going to call out when he's right.
Do it.
Oh, yeah, okay, so Geordi and Leah go into this, like, tunnel to look at tubes and shit. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I just like tech shit. So she's impressed with his changes. She's like, oh, you seem to know so much about me. And he's like, yeah, he's admired her work, but didn't do his homework well enough because she's married. And this absolutely horrifies Geordi. Like, gasp, a married woman? Mm-hmm. Well, what's the point of her being around then?
Yeah. This is not a good episode for Geordi.
No. Like, God forbid you're, like, friends with a married person. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, his reaction's truly wild. Okay, so then they C-section the clam. The baby pushes through, and it's real questionable CGI. That baby just, like...
I'm sorry, that's just a sentence I never thought I'd hear.
Which?
Then they C-section the clam.
That baby struggles for its life. That baby's lip syncing for its life. And guess what? Shantae, you stay, baby clam.
Yeah.
And so Dr. C goes, Captain, I'd like to announce the birth of a large baby something.
Yeah.
It's like, Dr. C, why? But also, I'll allow it. Okay, so now, like, Geordi, back to Geordi, Christ. It's wild how, like, of the two plots, somehow the baby clam one is, like, more of a thing for me, even though it's so dumb.
It's quite literally a better plot because it's not painful.
Yeah.
It's not cringy, although like
It's just
that line was
odd,
cringy.
yeah.
But I'll allow it.
Here's the
It's
thing
Dr. C.
is like, and we'll get to this when we get into discussions later. But I would be fine with the cringe in the Geordi plot line if it wasn't obvious that like for some reason we're supposed to be on his side,
Yes.
even though
yes,
we should
definitely.
100% not be.
Oh, especially when
Yeah.
like the one that got me was when she leaves his quarters after the non-date. They very much frame it
And he's all
as
pissy.
yeah, exactly. They very much frame it as like, oh man, Geordi struck out again. But like she quite literally said in the non-date, hey, I'm weird and awkward, so
Yeah.
I'ma go now. Bye.
Yeah. Okay, so now Geordi is in 10 forward, I think, with Guinan, and she's talking with him, and she goes, oh, after Geordi says, like, the computer didn't tell him Leah is married, and it's like, Geordi, the fuck? So then Guinan goes, computer glitch? Geordi goes, must have been. Guinan goes, maybe it was your old visor. And Geordi goes, what are you talking about? Then Guinan goes, well, the one you... Oh, the one you... I couldn't read my writing. Are we surprised? No. Well, the one you wore when you were on the holodeck with her. And then Geordi goes, Guinan, it's the same visor. And then Guinan goes, really? Oh, I figured it was probably the one that lets you see what you want to see.
I do like that Guinan like calls him on his shit, basically.
Yes. I got a nice laugh out of that. Oh, yeah, and then same conversation, but a little bit later, Guinan goes, now she's probably done the most horrific thing one person can do to another, not live up to your expectations. So I take a good hard look at her, LaForge. What did I write? Oh, C. Oh my god, I thought that was an F. See her for who she is, not for what you want her to be. So I was like, yeah, charge her. So I really like that.
I do like when Geordi's talking to Guinan and he says, this woman is about as friendly as a insert sci-fi planet here, insert animal here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Star Trek.
Okay, at this point, the Enterprise is like, all right, well, we birthed the baby, so I think we're gonna go. But then the baby clam is following the ship. And then the baby clam is on the ship and starts draining the energy from the ship.
The baby's sucking some titty, okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Leah has got some nice suits. Just as a side note. Okay, so they also want to clarify that the baby's name is not Junior. So, great. Wonderful. That doesn't matter to me. I just keep calling it Baby Clam. So, okay, so then they come up with the plan. Baby Clam is on Shuttle Bay 2, and they'll open the door, and the pressure could push it off. What the fuck did I write? Well, who knows? That's a mystery that will not be solved today. Yeah, so then, like, the baby will fly off or something with the pressure. We'll see. Okay, so then Leah... Oh, boy. Hold on to your butts. This is very bad.
Yeah.
So Leah's looking for more information about like some modification, and somebody's like, oh yeah, I think it was a person. They're like, go to this thing with this thing, and she's like, oh okay, yeah, which is the fucking holodeck. Mm-hmm. And she puts on Geordi's program, and it's terrible. She is so pissed off, and honestly, I mean, no, I can't imagine anybody would argue every right to be pissed off.
Yeah.
This was really fucked. Then Geordi comes in. Everybody's face is truly wild. And he has the absolute fucking audacity to be like, he's the victim because she was mean to him
Yeah.
when they first met.
I'm guilty of reaching out to you.
Yeah, he just completely just like
Leah is
pushes the side.
justifiably incensed. Like,
Yeah.
she has every right to be angry and to, like, make assumptions because, like, she goes on this whole thing about, like, oh, how do I know how far this has gone? You know,
Yeah.
basically implying, like, did you have sex with my fucking hologram?
Mm-hmm.
And then Geordi's
Yeah,
like,
with this show, that's totally possible.
yeah. And then
to say
Geordi's
it,
like,
but-
how dare you make that assumption? All I'm guilty of is trying to be your friend. And it's like, no, that's a perfectly reasonable concern, man.
Yes,
And it's like,
it is.
yeah, you didn't have sex with it, okay? But like what you did was still super fucked up. And like, how
Also,
dare you
like-
have the fucking gall to just be
Yeah.
like, you're the one in the wrong here, Leia. And then the fucking episode agrees with him for some fucking reason.
Yep.
It's fucked. It's absolutely fucked. But the thing is, like, she's so justified in this because he spends up until this point, the episode trying, like, he knows all this shit about her and is not subtle about it.
Mm-hmm.
And she, and he basically, like, makes a date for them and then is upset when she finds out she's married.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, how dare you assume something romantic went on here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, you've been like chasing her almost, like, you've made your intentions pretty fucking clear, and now you're surprised when she's like, oh, did you fuck holodeck me?
Yeah.
Or something. Like, that is perfectly logical. So, yeah, Geordi really is like, but he's been wronged more because she was kind of mean.
Great.
So, Okay, so back to Baby. Baby Clam is so fucked. Okay, so Baby Clam. Baby Clam is, 46 million cubic meters. What the fuck? That's big, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that
So,
might have
like-
been a taco, and I think they were talking about the size of the
mom?
the asteroid
clam?
the
Yeah.
asteroid belt, because as soon as he
Oh.
said that, I was just like, pardon fucking me, did you just say that the thing attached to your hull is like 4 billion times bigger than your hull? What the fuck? Not
Yeah.
4
Yeah,
billion,
I was
I'm
like,
exaggerating, but yeah.
And for anyone that just for a refresher for people who are not in the know, a taco is what we call when someone misspeaks. You know, it's like a typo, but
Yeah, it's like a typo, but
taco.
Yeah, they tacoed that. Yeah, because it really sounded like they were saying the baby is 46 million cubic meters. That's a big ass baby. Okay, so the baby is honestly just chill. It's having a nice time, hanging on the back, sucking the Enterprise dry. So they opened the shuttle bay door and like gave it a little tickle. It is not doing it. The baby is just draining more power. And then in the distance, we see a fuck ton of clams. And they're going to, oh God, we had 1 second of my favorite thing. They're like, we're going to intercept the clams in 10 minutes and 31 seconds. And I was like, count down. We don't get it, though. But they also have only 2 seconds of phaser power available. Dramatic music. Oh, then, okay, honestly, the episode lost me at this point. Leah's like, what if we sour the Enterprise's milk? To, like, because the baby's sucking the, like, energy, so they're like, what if we made the energy taste bad?
What if we made the tit taste bad? Yes.
Yeah, so I don't remember what they did. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. I don't. So they try to make the power bad for baby. What a weird sentence. They're trying
Thank
to
you,
make the
Dory.
power bad for baby. And the family reunion is imminent. Okay, so then, like, this actually does work, and the baby lets go and joins its family. Then the ship immediately is like, boy, and just, like, warps away. And then we end with, like, Leah, them, like, apologizing to each other, but not really.
Yeah. Okay, first
mean,
of all, why is she apologizing?
Because she was mean to Geordi and assumed that he was, because for nothing. She
Yeah.
didn't do anything wrong.
I don't think Geordi ever even apologizes for what he did. Does he?
Oh, you're
No.
probably right. By the
No,
end of
not
this
really.
episode, I was honestly completely, like, not paying attention.
Fair.
Other
That is
than
fair.
when they're like, oh, there's another call for Leah. And she's like, my husband. I was like, okay, that was the phone call earlier. And then then I think it ends. No, is there anything after that? Who cares? Yeah, this was fucked.
Yeah.
This is kind of that thing of like, you don't like, I think Aaliyah at the beginning was maybe a little like abrasive, but I don't think she was mean. She's coming into a situation where she's put all this stuff together on the ship and someone has like torn it apart. Yeah, she comes in hot, but like,
but the thing is,
they
okay,
don't have to be best friends. Like, it's fine. And he just takes it super personal. Well, I mean, he should, but like,
here's the thing, that regardless of whether she was being a bitch or not, what he did was super fucked up.
Yes.
yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, his logic.
Like,
No. Oh, for sure. I'm just saying, like, him being upset in that scene in the holodeck of like, well, you were mean. Like, no, she wasn't.
Yeah.
She's like, she says it like in the dinner, quote unquote dinner, the lightly dimmed room.
Yeah.
That like the engine is like her baby and she's really protective of it. And she like very much explains like why she like, you know, came in real hot and what the deal is. And then he like throws it in her face, even though like he somehow is like, even though he heard her tell him and like that, all this shit. And then he's like, but you were still mean to me when I met you. And Geordi, okay, listen, this is like, honestly, God, changed my Geordi opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, I still like him, but he needs to like prove himself to me now.
Yeah. The thing is like, yeah, because she like during the dinner she admits like, hey, I was being defensive. I just have, you know, a really strong attachment to this stuff, and it's weird to see someone like fiddle around with this, and this is like my you know, this is like my baby.
It's her baby.
Yeah.
Lots of babies in this.
Yeah, it's thematically relevant. And then Geordi's like, he accepts this, and he's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I totally understand how you feel. Like, let's try to get off on the correct foot about this and blah, blah, blah. And then later on, he's like, oh, but you were mean to me. Despite him saying, oh, it's okay, I understand. Like, it's just, yeah, there's a lot bad.
I mean, I don't know if it's, it also, like, to me, kind of puts in the thing of, like, women are expected to just always be super nice and accommodating.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
When, like, I liked the character of Leah. Like, I like that she, I mean, I didn't like that she then, like, apologized to him because she didn't do anything wrong. But I did like that she wasn't just like, oh, hi, can you show me what you did? And she's just like, what did you do to my stuff?
Yeah.
So, like, I liked that she wasn't, like, super nice and, like, you know, because Geordi's good at his job, wasn't immediately like, oh, my God, I hear you've done all this stuff. Show me. It sounds so cool. I think she's, like,
and that's the thing. It's like,
very justified.
I think this story had potential because I don't mind the sort of premise where she comes on board and she's much different than Geordi expected her to be, because a holodeck fantasy is not going to capture a real person, you know? And
or alternatively, you know what have made this good is if the holodeck stuff was not involved. If literally, like, this was someone that, like, he had heard about, like, basically just take away the holodeck stuff, and this could have been a much more interesting episode.
Yeah.
The holodeck stuff just truly makes it real sour and cringy.
Well, the thing is like, because I think that aspect also had potential to it, where because they're treating it like she's in the wrong on all this, when she is very clearly in the right. So it would have been nice if the episode had taken that direction and been like, basically kind of explored the ethics more of that, of the holodeck shit, and been like, wow, this is really having Geordi reflect on the fucked up thing he did, you know, and realizing like, oh yeah, that was super uncool. Like, if this had been a thing of like, Geordi basically realizing the mistake he made, right?
Yeah. Have we learned nothing from Reg?
I know,
No.
right?
Ugh. But now, here's the thing, is like, now they've set it up, so like, they can still do whatever the fuck they want in the holodeck with whoever. And honestly, like, because of this episode, I honestly could see Geordi, like, visiting his, like, holodeck Leah because she was nicer to him. And
Yeah,
more
he
like,
could. He
you know,
He could, but
and I hate that.
I'll assuage your fears in that he does not do that.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I didn't think they would do it in, like, an episode, but I mean, like, in his spare time.
Oh, yeah. Like, off camera.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what these people get up to off camera.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's enough fan fiction
Oh, yeah.
out there, but yeah, I mean, because let's be fair, Minuet can't be the only holodeck person that Riker fucked.
That's true.
So, I do not believe for 1 second it's the only one. God, how many, like, holodeck people have just been fucked?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's terrible. Okay,
I mean, the
anyways.
implication in Star Trek Lower Decks is that there is a cum filter that has to be cleaned out every now and then. So yeah.
Oh my God. That's an unfortunate image.
Lower Decks is a comedy, so yeah, they basically are taking all of this Star Trek lore and making fun of it in as many places as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, one day I'll watch it and be like, haha, I get it.
You will. I would like to point out regarding this episode that there is somebody that you can blame for it. Not entirely, because
Good.
most of the problems
I love
come
to
down
blame
to the script.
people.
However, the story concept was actually the very last thing that Maurice Hurley ever left with the show. And
God damn it.
yeah, he pitched it ages ago, and they took it and decided, okay, well, based on his notes, let's write an episode around that. And yikes is what we got out of it. But on the bright side, we got to see the Jeffries tubes in their near final form for the first time. Because we have seen them once before, but for some reason they were like 6 feet tall and you could run through them.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that you have to crawl through them.
It's
It's the tube.
Yeah,
the
where they were
tunnel they crawled
coloring.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're named after Matt Jeffries, who was a one of the designers of, like, behind the scenes designers of stuff.
I don't remember what the final form of Jeffries tubes look like, but I hope they give them a solid floor. Because
No, they
fucking
don't.
crawling around on those fucking, like, rails looks painful as hell.
No, it's always grading like that. This isn't entirely the final form, because if you notice, the two of them could get through basically at the same time. Like, it was large enough for the two of them. I think it gets a little bit smaller. Either that or they redo, like, the wall area of it so that you've got a what's it called? So that you've just got a bit less room in there and it feels more cramped.
Yeah, you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember those, like, McDonald play places when we were kids?
Get ready
do
for
remember,
more
yeah.
Enterprise McDonald's.
Ooh, boy. Star Trek, McDonald's play place.
I'll have a warp core burger, please.
I don't even know what's at McDonald's anymore.
Burgers.
I remember McDonald's was 12. I thought I could maybe make a pun, but I don't remember what's there.
Actually, speaking of puns, the most important part of the episode, guys, the title is a pun.
Oh, yeah, Galaxy's Child.
The ship, the Enterprise, the class of ship is a Galaxy class, and it's got a child that's sucking on its teat, and I fucking hate that was pointed out to me.
Okay. You know what?
Like,
you know
they
what
knew
this
this.
episode should have been called? In which I put forward a suggestion for our episode, Baby on Board.
Yes, please. That's very good. All I'm thinking of is Picard in that one scene that he was in like a whole episode right at the end, where he was just like, "Welcome aboard," to the kid. Remember that? To the little baby?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. I thought you meant this episode. Oh, no, the other
Oh,
baby
no.
who was, like, the few episodes ago, who was born for, like, no reason.
It was entirely out of character for him to do it, but it was still very funny.
Yeah, I thought he doesn't like kids.
Exactly,
Does he
he
like
hates
babies
kids.
all of a sudden now?
He quite literally hates children.
Babies are children.
Yes. We're not even we haven't even gotten to Captain Picard Day yet.
Oh, you know, I just remembered.
What?
Wesley.
Oh, he's gone. Goodbye, son. You will never see him again until the next time he comes up.
Oh, I hope Wes is doing well. I hope he's thriving in school and making friends.
Well, you'll find out. Maybe.
Oh, I hope so. No, I know I will. Like you said, he comes back at some point.
Yeah.
We see him again.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I look forward to hearing a full report.
Deal.
And hearing about his report card. Dr. C just like opens an envelope or something. No, how would she get an envelope? They're in space. I'm thinking like she gets mailed his report card. It would be through the computer. Would she get sent the report card? I don't know how school works in
I doubt it because this is not
this
regular
universe.
school. He's joining the military.
Oh yeah, but okay, that's right. I keep thinking it's like kind of a university. So I'm like, I hope he makes friends.
Well, it sort of is. Like,
I still hope he makes friends. Make friends at Army.
Make friends at Army
It's
HQ.
like- It's like in Arrested Development when like Buster joins the army and his mom is like, have fun at Army, dear, or something like that.
yeah.
I don't remember.
It's a military academy, so it is like it's a military school.
Okay. Well, I hope he's doing well. I do want to know what his report card is. Wait, do they do report cards in Army?
I don't know.
In military school? How does that work? What is the grading system? Percentages, A, B, C?
They don't say, as
not-
far as I know.
Well, I don't know in real life,
Oh,
but
in
I'm
real
thinking
life?
of like...
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, real life military is very different from Star Trek military, so yeah.
Okay, so, well, I don't care about real military, but like Star Trek military. How does the school work? Can you graduate with honors? Is there like...
Yes, you can graduate with honors, I think.
Okay, so then
Yes,
there's
you
got to
can.
be like a rating system, like a grading system to be able to get honors, right?
Yeah, because there's
Yeah, I'd assume so.
valedictorians and whatnot, too.
So I'm curious. I want to know what their like judgment, like what their
Well-
rubric is. I
well,
guess
because-
for military school.
Because they also take, like, classes, right? Like, they... You know, you hear about people
Ooh.
taking science classes and...
Oh, okay. So now I
different
want to
kinds of
know what the
classes.
whole. I want to know what all the classes are. What you can take in military school.
Well, you can take temporal mechanics.
Yeah, you can take temporal mechanics. You can take a bunch of, like, physics courses. I think
Is
they
there
have,
anything fun?
like... I think they have, like, political courses, too.
Yeah, probably.
Because I think... Oh, no, because that's why Wesley joined Picard on that trip with the miners. Because they were doing, like, diplomacy courses or some shit.
Yes.
Diplomacy class.
Yeah. So, like, everything you've seen people do on Star Trek, you can take classes in that.
Class.
Yeah, because Starfleet is so, like, all-encompassing and a little nebulous with, like, what its actual role is, there's a lot of, yeah, it's like a combination of a university and military deal.
I wonder if you can go back to do like an extra class if you've already graduated.
Probably.
Just be like, hey, I'd like to be
Oh, yes,
brushed
you
up
can,
on
actually.
my diplomacy. Yeah?
No, yeah, you actually can. There's also the infamous Kobayashi Maru test.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard of this. I've heard of this term, but I don't know what it is.
The term has permeated beyond Star Trek because it was part of Wrath of Khan. So just like the Khan thing, it's like gone beyond the series, and then it entered a little bit of pop culture. So the Kobayashi Maru test is a no-win scenario. You're sent out on a simulated crews on a ship, and there is no way to win this scenario. You have to go and either rescue some people or fuck off, or discover that when you go to try to rescue the people, you find out that it's a trap and everyone gets killed. And basically it's a test to show you that you can't think your way out of every situation. Sometimes you're going to lose.
Yeah, it's basically to see how you deal with a no-win scenario, like, because like there's not a way out of every scenario. And Captain Kirk famously did win the Kobayashi Maru.
Wild.
Yeah. To be very fair, the way that he won was he cheated. He reprogrammed the test so it was possible to win.
Yeah, that's not... I mean, on one hand, like, you got to use your resources, so, like, kind of kudos to him, but at the same time, like, that's not what it's...
Yeah, the whole thing...
It's not the purpose of it, right?
Yeah, it was a whole thing made up for Wrath of Khan. So, like, the whole explanation of the test and how Kirk won and stuff is, like... It like has to do with like the plot points and themes of the movie.
Yes.
So, it's like it works for the movie in terms of its theming and all that stuff, but it doesn't make any actual sense.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Wild. I'm interested in what the syllabus is and like what the classes are at the Star Trek. Not Star Trek. They don't call it Star Trek. Starfleet. Welcome to Star Trek school. Yeah, Starfleet Academy. I want to know what they have there.
Hey, that's what you're doing right now, Star Trek school.
That's
oh
right.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Ah! The course is watch show.
Yeah.
Right? Oh my god, you could put it in like 3 different categories. One is the watching part. The second is the writing part, which I might failed because I can't read my own writing 3/4 of the time. And then third section is the oral section where I talk.
Yeah.
Haha. Three levels, not levels. I don't know. God, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. But Star Trek school. Yay.
Well, when we reach season 5, you will graduate from novice.
Oh yes, to TBA.
Yeah.
Or TBD.
Yeah. We have a couple options, but we haven't decided yet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
TBD. TBD.
All right.
D.
I think, have we said all we want to say about this episode?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Basically, like, the whole thing with Leah Brahms is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I can't believe you're on Geordi's side with this.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I can't believe you've done this.
Can't believe you've done this. So yes, I suppose we should get to favorite moments
Okay.
and lines and stuff like that.
Sure. I guess I liked when Guinan, I said the line already earlier, but when Guinan was like, oh, I think you were wearing your visor that had allowed you to see what you want to see. I liked that. And then I liked the computer saying, please state your request in precise candle power. For like how dim Geordi wants the room to be. That was pretty lulz. And I just liked Guinan in this.
Yeah.
I missed Guinan.
Yeah, Guinan should have really had another scene of being like...
I feel like she could have been more stern, been like, Geordi, this is fucked.
Yeah, like maybe Geordi could have come to her after that big confrontation, been like she wouldn't even give me a chance to explain, and then Guinan be like, hey, shithead, like, she's not in the wrong here, like,
Yeah.
she has every right to make that assumption. Like, how the fuck does she doesn't know you, like, how does she know what you're doing with her hologram?
Yeah.
Sorry, did you have more?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. No. The baby shit was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It was wild. Truly felt so detached.
Yeah. I liked the first half of the big confrontation before Geordi opens his mouth. Like, I like Leia, like, standing up for herself and being like, what the fuck? Like, how dare you? Like, all that stuff. Because she's, like, the only person that points out how messed up this is.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I'd really love better Geordi episodes.
Yeah.
Because I'm not mad, I'm disappointed.
Yeah. Some of the cringe was kind of funny. Like, just knowing... Especially me knowing how it was gonna go. Just being like, oh boy, you are... Like, in that opening, like, when he's all excited to meet her, and he's like, oh boy, you are in for a big surprise.
A rude awakening, good sir.
Yeah. And
Oh, yeah.
and my favorite thing to come out of this episode is not in the episode. It's a meme, which is just that screenshot of Leia Brahms looking at her hologram, and the caption is just like, "Never forget to delete your browser history."
Oh man, I was making that meme too.
Yeah.
The moment that I think I end up actually enjoying is, like I said, Picard's reaction to them accidentally killing the space boob, the space pizza pocket. It's like I said, that is really peak Star Trek's ideals. I just wish it had not been about a fucking blob that they made out of Play-Doh.
Yeah.
And then it probably would have been much more effective. But hey, you know what? We will see better examples of it in the future. So, not all is lost. It was just lost in this particular 45-minute segment. However, I do have to give credit to Geordi's absolutely excellent quote, which was when Picard tells her at the beginning that she's coming on, or sorry, Picard tells him at the beginning that she's coming on board. And he's like, "Oh, I've studied her design schematics for years," and like it's so clear that he is just making that up on the spot.
Oh, okay. So super quick, very bad joke, but like, so at the end when like the other clams show up, it's like a family reunion. I wonder if the baby got to meet its clam ma. I'll leave.
Get out. You're banned from this podcast.
That's absolutely horrible.
I know. It just popped into my head.
All right.
Very bad.
Well, I suppose we should move on to predictions for the next episode. So the next episode is called Night Terrors, and Jeff is going to attempt to fucking give you a clue about this, because it's weird.
The next episode, the title is apt, because this is Star Trek's attempt at a horror episode. So the ship finds himself stuck in a kind of a remote, empty area of space. And it turns out that the crew is unable to dream.
Oh, that's wild, because I just watched Sandman this past weekend. So I'm very familiar with Dream.
We're not talking about
Okay.
Dream of the Endless here. Leave Morpheus out of this.
It was a good show. Enjoyed it. Got some issues, but for the most part, very good. Okay, so they can't dream. Oh my god. Is this like a sleep deprivation thing? Because people can go as absolutely crazy town banana pants with no sleep, as I have experienced firsthand. So, okay. Oh god, but like a horror? Like how horror are we talking?
Well,
Like-
the episode starts off with them coming across another Starfleet vessel that's adrift, and nobody's left alive.
Oh my god, this is like Naked Now all over again.
Except instead
Okay.
of drunk fun times, it's dreamless nightmare times.
Ooh. Oh my god. Okay. So Okay, so they come across the other ship. Everybody's dead. Gasp. Oh, okay. What if the other ship got like a high dose of some kind of like, not drugs, but like some kind of like spore or something, but they got too much, so that's what killed everybody on board. And maybe, okay, assuming the Enterprise crew goes to there, they get exposed a little. Oh my god, this is just naked now. Oh my god. But spooky. But maybe the like spore though doesn't allow you to sleep. I'm just stuck on the like, because like just not dreaming, that's like okay. But like sleeping, that you can't dream when you're not asleep.
Ooh.
And sleep deprivation can lead to some crazy shit.
I will tell you to help you out that in real life, not being able to dream can also fuck you up.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, I didn't know that, because I get too many dreams and I don't like them.
Well, dreams are, well, we don't really know what dreams are, but like sort of the leading theory is that it's basically like your brain just sort of rearranging shit, and like that's how it sort of solidifies all your memories and stuff. So
My brain needs to shut the fuck up then.
yeah, it's just like reshuffling all the fucking information in your head so that it can make sense of it later.
Okay. Well, I don't know what happens if you can't dream, but you can still sleep. So let's go with just like not sleeping.
Okay.
And so they can't sleep, and everybody's just like not in their best mind frame. So like they're, maybe something. Okay, I'm going to assume it's going to be dark in there. I don't know why, but it's going to be dark in the ship. Or, okay, so maybe the spore maybe makes people paranoid. And, like, somebody decides to turn off, like, the light power. So, like, in the dark, because it feels like less, like, people can't find you then. You can, like, hide and be safe or something. I just, cause it's horror. Like if you're saying horror, I just assume everything's dark.
Not a bad assumption.
Yeah, that's actually very normal for Star Trek. They're just like, oh, it's horror. Well, dark corridors.
Yeah. So, because of like the sleep deprivation, and maybe they don't. Oh, you know what? Maybe the power is just like gone. So like they can't tell what time it is. Like they're only like the life power, what the fuck, life support is like working, so everybody is like technically fine, but the ship's just sort of stopped because maybe it gets infected, like the spore can infect the ship as well. And it just has like different results, and it has to like wear off, but like people sleep deprived and they get like paranoid, they get angry or whatever, various different things. They're just not thinking straight, and people turn on each other. I'm just assuming like infighting, because that's the scariest of them all. People not getting along. The team in a fight.
The scariest thing of all, conflict with your friends.
Yes.
I mean, Star Trek does have rules in the writing against humans having conflict with each other unless they can come up with a good reason for it. And
okay,
there we go.
Well,
Ooh,
sleep
maybe
deprivation
this is a good
is a
reason.
good reason.
Yep.
Yeah, because that can be that's very human. Although I know, like, maybe Gene Roddenberry at this point is like, humans don't need to sleep. They've evolved past sleep.
I could see it.
We're in a post-sleep world.
Maybe that's why the Enterprise doesn't have bathrooms, because we've evolved beyond the need to pee.
Oh my god. A post-bathroom world.
Post-shit society.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
you could. Maybe they have like a transporter just transports the poop out of your intestines.
Actually, while Gene Roddenberry did not come up with this, canonically, Discovery does establish that at least in the far future, all of their waste is recycled and they literally eat it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
The guy even makes a comment, tastes pretty good for shit.
yeah. Haven't we established that that's what the replicator uses? That it's
Yes,
basically...
but this, he officially says that it's their shit. Like, he says it tastes pretty good for shit.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's reconstituted, right? It's not shit anymore. It's like how the astronauts on the space station, they drank their recycled pee.
Yep. Delicious.
And it's like, but it's not pee anymore because it's been processed.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah.
Thoughts and peas.
All right. So with that, if you'd like to see if Dory's correct in her prediction, watch along with us and join us for the next episode of Fully Functional, a TNG podcast.
Goodbye.